My name is Justin Wayne Hawthorne. I always say my whole name in honor of my father because he was an amazing father, and my mother is Shanna Hawthorne. A little bit about myself, as she already told you, I went to Bishop Dunn, currently an engineer here, mechanical engineering intern here, and I've been working on Toy Story Land, which opens June 30th, so that should be pretty amazing. I'm going to keep my speech short and sweet so that you guys can go to the park, because I understand how amazing that is as well, and just go from there. So my journey with being an engineer here at Disney is that I currently go to the University of Texas at Arlington. I'm from Dallas, Texas, born and raised. I'm studying mechanical and aerospace engineering there. When I go back to school, I'll be in my 5th year of education because my degree plan is a 6-year degree plan. While I was there, I applied for an engineering internship here in Disney in Florida. I had to drive 16 hours multiple times to get here so that I can start my engineering internship. I started doing stuff with MEP, which stands for Mechanical, Electrical, and Plumbing, where I worked in all the parks, all 4 parks, all the resorts, the 2 water parks, and just different projects all around. Got stuff signed and sealed, which is great. And then now I'm working on Toy Story Land, which is also great at Hollywood Studios. And so what Ms. Voigt and them told me that they wanted me to talk to you about is that I guess the theme of this session with you guys coming here is leadership through service. And so I'm gonna always do my best to make it short and sweet and to put the most important stuff at the beginning and also the most important stuff at the end so that hopefully one person here can learn something and change and get better. And so the thing that I always lead with, and no matter how old or young you are, I believe that everybody can learn at the rate that people believe in them, meaning that I feel like a kindergarten could possibly learn quantum physics if they want to. Now that's extreme, but I feel like, you know, if you treat somebody like they can learn to a certain aptitude, they will man up or woman up to reach those kind of goals and specifics. So the first thing that I honestly want to say to you is kind of more of a heads up, but I will say that life is hard. And I tell you that so that you can be aware of that, because there's going to be times in your life where you hit adversity and you hit a wall and you feel like everything's going great and it's all of a sudden something drastic happens to you. And so I want to tell you that life is hard, but it's not impossible. You can always achieve your dream. You can always have your dream. You just have to have that mindset that you can always do what you want to do, no matter what obstacles come your way, no matter what you face at home, at school, at your job. Hopefully y'all don't have a job yet, because when you start adulting, it's not fun. But no matter what you face, period, point blank, life can be hard, life can be difficult, but you can always overcome it and you can always become what you want to be. Then the second most important thing that I feel like I can tell you today is that do not limit yourself. And so when people ask me how tall I am, I tell them I'm 5'6", but I'm 5'11" at heart. And so I say I'm 5'11" because I feel like 6 foot isn't cool, you know? You can say 5'11", that sounds pretty cool to me. That's just me personally. I don't want to be 6 foot. When you're 6 foot, 6'2", 6'4", 6'6", you can't drive cool cars. And I know a Camaro is kind of basic, but that is my favorite car, and I can't wait to buy a Camaro just so I can drive it. But as of right now, I have a paid off Toyota Corolla 2010, and I don't have to pay for that. You understand that later when you have to start paying bills. But so I don't limit myself by worrying about my height or anything like that, no matter if my voice is kind of high, because people talk about my voice because my voice is kind of high, or that I'm not really that funny or whatever, you know. But I would say I never limit myself, and I never ever tell anybody else to ever limit yourself. In high school, I was kind of that awkward kid, and that kid that never really had a personal friendship group. Like, I was too cool to be with like the nerds, I guess, and I was too nerdy to be with cool kids. So I oftentimes ate lunch by myself. So people didn't exactly like me in high school. And they was like, Justin, you always kind of walk around like you have a chip on your shoulder. Like, why you always walk around like you're the man and you're like this and you're like that? It's because in my mind, I felt like I could do all things. I could do anything. When I go to job interviews, they say, what can you do? I can do everything. And that's because I don't limit myself, and I never think that somebody should ever limit themselves ever. And I feel like everybody should have that mindset to never limit yourself. And then the third thing I would say, and again, I'm telling you these 3 deep things at a young age, because the sooner you learn them, the faster you can grow. I'm 23 years old doing engineering for Disney. If you'd have thought that I would be doing that, I wouldn't have even thought I would be doing that. Honestly, when I got here, it was shocking to me because I would have never thought I would have this opportunity. And so again, the sooner you learn this stuff, the faster you can grow in life and the more you can exceed. I don't want you to grow linearly. I want you to have exponential growth, which I believe hopefully you've been learning that now in high school. to where your growth is so much more drastic and so much faster than what it could be than everybody else. And so the third most important thing that I feel like I could possibly tell you is take full responsibility for your life. And so what that means is that oftentimes you hear people blaming, oh, well, I don't know how to do math because my teacher in 3rd grade didn't teach me how to add. Or, oh, well, I'm not happy because so-and-so doesn't like me. Or, oh, you know, why don't you have a pencil in class? It's because I lended it to Sarah and Sarah kept my pencil. You know, that's little stuff. But if you start with the little stuff, eventually it's going to turn into bigger things, and then eventually you end up somewhere in life that you don't want to be. And so when I say take full responsibility for your life, there's a reason why it's called self-esteem. Because you shouldn't expect somebody else to make you feel a certain type of way. You need to be able to feel that way yourself. So again, like I said, this is deep, but the sooner you can learn this, the faster you can grow. And all the stuff that I'm talking about right now is about mental. It all starts with your mindset. I always thought that I could do things. I always felt like I could be whatever I wanted to be. I always felt like no matter what came my way, no matter what happened to me at home, at school, at work, I was gonna achieve what I wanna achieve. And my biggest dream, and again, little side note, be careful when you tell people your biggest dream. So I would say don't share your dreams with everybody. That's just me being 100, because one, people either steal your idea, people could either try to kill your idea, or you can have true people that love you, that wanna help you with your idea. But I would say be very, very careful and guard your heart and guard your dreams. But my biggest dream that I want to achieve in my life, and I don't mind sharing it because I know one day I will achieve it, no matter what somebody says to me, no matter if it's my mother, my father, my sister, all my family supports me. But I'm just telling you how drastic it is to how much I feel strongly about what I feel, and I feel like everybody should feel this way. My biggest dream is to win a Nobel Prize one day. I said I was going to win it by the age of 24. I don't think I'm going to do that because I'm 23, but one day I'm going to win one. I don't know what I'm gonna win it for. I don't know how I'm gonna win it. I just know that I'm willing to do whatever it takes to win my dream. And so it's just gonna make it happen. So I would say that is the beginning of my speech, and I feel like those are my 3 biggest parts. And so now to lead into how to serve others through leadership, or being a leader through serving others, the number one most important thing that I talked about, that I just got done talking about, is yourself. So first off, you have to serve yourself. Take care of yourself. You are your most important investment. You are the most important thing in your life. You are the person that you have to spend your life with forever, and you need to be happy with yourself. So do what will make you happy. Do what you love. Find a way to make money doing what you love, and live your best life. No matter what anybody else has to say, no matter what anybody else has to do, you serving yourself is the number one most important thing. Okay, now to get to other people. I feel like there are 3 groups of people that you need to serve. Your parents and or your guardian, your friends, and your community. And so, starting with your parents, the way that I serve my parents, and I say I start off with my parents because your at-home life is your at-home life. You know, there's this old saying to where it says, sweep around your front porch before you try to go sweep around somebody else's. Long story short, what that means is start at home. I went to public school my entire life until I got to high school. And so, of course, as we should hopefully know, is that public school is free. And so when I started going to Bishop Dunn, I found out how expensive Bishop Dunn through the grapevine, because one day I opened a pack of mail. My parents never shared their finances with me because I was a kid. I need to stay in a child's place, and they were adults. They was doing their adult thing. And so I found out how much Bishop Dunn cost. And I made sure that I did my best in every class, in everything I did, no matter if it was sports, athleticism, disciplinary actions. I made sure that I did my best in my classes because I knew that my parents were paying for me to go somewhere. And I didn't want to waste my parents' time nor my parents' money because I could easily go to another school for free. But Bishop Dunn is a high quality school that challenged me mentally and made my first year of college a breeze. And so by doing that, not only did I finish 5th in my class with a 4.1 GPA, I beat kids. I was driving you guys might not know cars, but again, I was driving a car, Sunfire Pontiac 2003. It's called a hoopty. I don't know if y'all ever heard that term. That's long story short, a car that looks like it could break down in any second. And everybody else in my class was driving Audis, the latest Audis at that time, driving BMWs, driving Mercedes-Benz to school. And I'm driving, you know, my little car. People used to make fun of my car and all that kind of stuff and talk all this mess about, Justin, you can't do this, Justin, you can't do that. But again, I started with myself and I had my own mental toughness to where I knew that I would be either one, further than they were whenever we get to the same age, or I would prove it to myself that I deserved to be where I thought I was supposed to be at. Because I won't lie, when I got to the school, I was intimidated because nobody really looked like me or talked like me, or was into the same kind of things like me. And so that can be kind of intimidating when you're the only person in a certain type of area. And so, but I always worked hard and I always did my thing. And again, I always think everybody should do the same thing. Work hard, do your thing, have your mental toughness. And so I finished 5th in my class with a 4.1 GPA, earned $365,000 in merit scholarships to other schools. And not only did I do that, I became the face of Bishop Dunn athletic-wise and academic-wise. That's the way that I served my parents, because I made sure that I did my best in everything I did. Another way you can serve your parents is by being a representation of your family. So I say my full name every time I introduce myself, Justin Wayne Hawthorne, because that was the name my parents gave me. And one thing that my mother always told me growing up is that don't embarrass me. And so I know telling a little kid, she told me that from when I was a little kid to where I still to this day, don't embarrass me. And what she meant by that is that no matter where I go, no matter what I do, no matter what I say, no matter how I act, no matter what grades I get or whatever, I represented my parents. And I don't know if y'all have ever been around kids that look like they don't have home training. That's what my parents say. Don't act like you don't have home training. And what that means is that you're up in the store, well, y'all been in too. If y'all went to Walmart at least once, you probably seen it. Where kids over there acting, having a fit, hitting their parents, and just causing a scene, doing the most. My parent was like, Justin, if you ever did that, I would kill you to this day. And so, or I'll beat you, just being funny. Of course, never serious, but it put the fear in my heart. And that's because they never wanted to look as if they did not take care of their son. Because my parents were amazing parents. And so it was never, to me, it was never about making my parents look like they wasn't taking care of me. It was about making my parents look as good as they can. And so I made sure that, again, I always did my best so that I can give back to my parents. And then the last thing that I would say that you can do to serve your parents is by giving back to them. And I'm gonna try not to cry, because every time I talk about this, I start crying. But my Disney journey has been very interesting. And I made it here to where I'm at right now in spite of all the adversity that I faced and in spite of the hatred that I've encountered and still encounter in some situations. But the greatest thing that I can honestly say, the best thing that I can honestly say that I have ever done since I've been here at Disney is bring my parents to Disney. And so my parents had the opportunity, see, I'm trying to hold it in. My parents had the opportunity to bring me to Disney, maybe 2 or 3 times before then, but we always went to Magic Kingdom. And so the time I brought my parents to Disney, I brought them around Christmas time, and we was driving in the car to go to the 4 parks. My parents never went anywhere other than Magic Kingdom. And so, I have these free tickets that are park hoppers. I planned everything out, got us to where we never had to wait in lines, got the best shows, got the special backstage kind of things. I went all out for my family. And so we was driving in the car the first day they got here to go to the parks, and my mom started crying, and she started just like crying. Not like crying, like she was like crying. And then I look and see my dad start to cry. We believe in God, and my parents just started thanking the Lord in the car. And that, man, it touches me every time. And I tell the story so often, so I'm trying to be stronger when I tell it. But that, honestly, has been the best thing that I could ever do, because I told my parents, you finally got your return on your investment. You invested so much time, you invested so much money, you've given me so much love, you've given me a 2-parent household, you've given me everything that I've always needed. Not everything that I always wanted, but everything that I always needed. And I said, this is one way that I can give back to you a debt that I owe you endlessly. I owe my parents tremendously, and I don't know how I could ever repay it, but the only way that I could ever repay it is by being a good son to them and always showing them love and always giving to them when I can. And so being able to finally take my parents to Hollywood Studios so that they can go see Fantasmic, and then take my parents to Animal Kingdom so they can see the Lion King show. Taking them to Epcot so that they can see the different countries, and then of course taking them to Magic Kingdom so they can see Happily Ever After, which is the new fireworks show, which is way better than Wishes. But, my opinion personally. But being able to do that, that's the way that I served my parents. And to this day, when I walk here, walk there, it's good to hear people say, man, you must have really had a good mother and father, because you're a good young man. And so start with serving your parents before you serve anybody else in the world. Serve your parents and or your guardian and or the person that takes care of you, that loves you tremendously. And don't take them for granted. because everything that is living right now, one day has to die. So I let my mother and my father know each and every day I walk this earth. If I'm thinking about them, if I'm worried about them, I let them know and tell them all the time that I love them. Never tell your parents that you hate them. No matter how angry you get, no matter how much hurt you feel, no matter what they do, take from you or don't take from you, whatever, no matter what they buy for you or don't buy for you, never tell them that. Because one day something can happen and then you're gonna feel regret and you will feel bad. It don't work like that. Always let them know that you love them and respect them for whatever they try to do in your life, no matter good or bad, and move forward. Okay, second group of people that I feel like should help is your friends. So I mean like your true friends. I don't mean like just, hey, yo, what's up, fam, you doing good? I mean like, your friends where it's like they're a brother or a sister to you. And so, because trust me, you'll figure it out sooner or later. You'll have those high school friends. So it's like, oh, bro, we're gonna keep in contact. You know what, girl, we gonna call each other. You never call them. And then you got your friends to where it's like, hey, we really gonna get together and we gonna call each other. I have a group of friends from Bishop Dunn that I do that with right now named Brianna, Azaria, Osahan, and Ernest. And we always get together at least once a year. Twice max, but typically once a year because we're all doing our things. Brianna, she got a full ride to Texas and she went to go work in Shanghai or in China somewhere. Now she's back in the States, has an amazing job. Ernest, if you need help with your computer, no matter if it's an Apple or a PC, he got it. He just got done graduating, about to find a career, make amazing money. Osahan, mechanical engineer, doing great decisions. Azaria, she probably gonna get married first. She found Mr. Right, but she's doing her things. I'm very proud of her. And so those are real friends. And so the way you serve your friends is that one, you be accountable. And so what accountability is that if I say I'm gonna do something, like for example, I just told y'all my biggest dream is to win a Nobel Prize. So if it's been 20 to 30 years later, y'all see me again, y'all need to be like, hey, yo, Justin, where's that Nobel Prize? Because being accountable means that you keep somebody to their word. Being accountable means that you do what you said you was gonna do for them. And being accountable means that you just gonna be there for them. So if I tell homeboy, what's your name, man? Brody, what's up, Brody? You doing good, man? we gonna work on that. That's how you do it. What's up, Brody? All right, so if I told Brody, hopefully Brody's doing great in math, but let's say I'm doing good in math and Brody isn't, right? And we're in the same class, same teacher, same homework, everything like that. And Brody's struggling in math and he's my true friend. And I'm doing great in math. Why would I not help Brody? Because he is my true friend, therefore I should be helping him. Therefore, if Brody is struggling with my mindset where I love my friends, if Brody's struggling, I'm struggling. That means I'm gonna do everything I can to help Brody because I love Brody because he's my friend. And so when I say serving your friends, I mean serve people that you love that are not your family. Friends are the family members that God didn't give you. So by being accountable to your friends means that you help them, you keep your word, and you be there for them. And then another way that you can serve your friends is by creating a covenant with your friends. And so what a covenant is pretty much just a true, sincere bond. A true, deep bond to where it is unbreakable. Whenever you get married, take your time and get married to Mrs. or Mr. Right or whatever. You create a covenant with that person. If you believe in God, you get married in front of God, and that's creating a covenant. That's creating a deep bond. And I have these other friends named Imani, Katora, she goes by Tori, Charmaine, and Dia. I have a covenant with them young ladies, and we're all friendship group. I have a covenant with these young ladies, and no matter what happens, I will be there for them. I will always love them, and I will do my best to always support them. And that's how I serve my friends because, for example, one of my friends, she recently broke her phone because, I don't know, girls keep their phones in their back pockets for some reason. And she went to go use the restroom and somehow her phone fell in the toilet. And then, so she needed some extra money to get a new phone, a replacement phone. That's why I tell y'all don't get Apple because Team Android got waterproof phones. Just throwing it, yeah, let them know. And so her phone wasn't functioning anymore. And so she contacted me because I always told her, hey, Charmaine, I make some good money. I know, you might not really have a job right now and stuff like that. So if you need anything extra, I don't mind helping you because you was there for me when I needed you. And so since you was there for me, I would be there for you. And since you're all the way in Oklahoma, I'm in Florida, if you need any extra cash, let me know and I will help you because I love you and I have an extra to spare, And in my opinion, since I believe in God, I didn't have a church home at that time, so I wasn't paying my tithes. So by giving to her, I saw that as me paying my tithes if she needed help with something. And so she was like, hey, Justin, can you send me some money? And I sent her some money. And I ain't hold it over her head. It wasn't a loan. It was my gift to her. And that's because I love her. because when I was having some emotional distress, when I was feeling sad, when I was feeling, having heartache or whatever, she would always call me and check on me because we had a covenant. And so the way you show your friends is creating a covenant with your friends. And again, I'm talking about your true friends. I don't mean that girl who's like, hey, how you doing? Man, I can't stand her. I don't mean those friends. I mean the friends where it's like you actually eat together. You actually go over to each other's house, have, sleepovers, play Call of Duty together. You call them like, hey bro, hop online because, we about to destroy these noobs or whatever you say nowadays, But that's what I was saying in the last group, and going to my closing points, is that the last group you need to serve is your community. And so by community, I mean, your neighborhood, your area, your city. And the way that you can serve your community is things that people already know by doing community service. And so when I went back home to Texas, because I had a brief break between working for Disney, the Lord had to grow me. He taught me humility. And then came back to Disney to finish, start my engineering career here. And then, to keep going to where I'm at right now. But during my brief break back in Dallas, Texas, I did these events called Clothed in the Homeless. And so when I moved to Disney the first time, I moved out my parents' house. And so, I came here, lived here for a little while. Then I had to go home. And so when I went home, I had all these extra clothes that I could no longer wear. And God put it on my heart that I needed to give those clothes away. Because I needed money. But, so I could have sold the clothes in a garage sale or did something to get, tax deduction or X, Y, and Z or whatever. But God put it on my heart to give the clothes away. And so I did a clothing drive, and I came up with the name Clothed in the Homeless. And I collected clothes. I got with my church. My church helped hub it with me, collected, tons and tons of clothes. And then I got a group of people, and we went to downtown Dallas and just gave the clothes away for free. And the biggest thing that I got out of that whole day is that there was a guy who seemed like he was about 6'4", maybe about 250, 270 pounds. And he came to me and he was crying. He was grown, big brother. And he came to me crying. He said, I came here looking for food, but I got fed just like this. And for me, having a shirt on my back, having pants on my leg, having pants on my legs and having shoes on my feet, having socks on my feet is something that I take for granted, and I always do my best not to take for granted. But to people that are unfortunate and or have made bad decisions in life, impacted them a little bit harder than it impacts other people. I always think that I need to give back to those people. Because since I have the ability to live life happily, live a life where I can have the opportunity to give back, I do give back. You shouldn't want to live a life to where you need something. You should never feel like you just need something. Because when you feel like when you live a life of lack, you're always going to have a handout. But I always want to live a life of abundance to where I can have enough for myself so where I can take care of myself, and then I have some extra to where I can give to other people. And so what that means to me is that, imagine two people drowning, right? Two people drowning. How can I save you if I'm drowning myself? I can't swim, so I can't try to save somebody else that's drowning. So that means that at that point in time, I gotta take care of myself. Let's say Miss Tina knows how to swim, right? And I'm over here drowning. Miss Tina can help me because not only can she take care of herself and do it effectively and have enough to take care of herself, she can help me too and help teach me how to swim because she knows how to swim. And so my long story short is take care of yourself first, which is what I started with. You first. You are your number one priority. And then from there, help other people. And then another way that you can help your community is by joining an organization that helps communities. And so I'm a proud member of Phi Beta Sigma Fraternity Incorporated. My fraternity was founded off of, our motto is Culture for Service, Service for Humanity. And our principles are brotherhood, scholarship, service, with service being number one. And so I joined a fraternity that I felt embodied not only who I was as a person, but embodied what I wanted to do for my life. I wanted to change people's lives. Like when I started here, I was like, I'm just hoping that one person is listening. Honestly, if nobody else listens, it's cool. I just want that one person to listen, to say, Justin, man, I appreciate you coming. Like you changed my life. Because whenever I would have stuff like this in my schools and in my high schools, I would listen to those people. Do I remember their names? No. But I would listen to them because they was investing time in my life to try to help me be better. Everybody else would be on their cell phones or gossiping or talking mess about the person. Now, I don't have time to talk to you because that person is trying to invest in my life. And when somebody's trying to invest in your life, don't take that for granted. Because right now, to be honest, I could be at home asleep. I've been at work since 10 p.m. I ate at 4 a.m. I got dressed at work, brushed my teeth, combed my hair, got changed. Well, I said I got dressed at work, so I got dressed again. And then I drove here to see y'all at 7 o'clock. Normally, right now, I would be in the bed asleep. But since I love Miss Voigt, and she's cool, and she asked me to come out here and speak. So since I love her, that's my way of giving it back to her. And so, but my thing is this, is that, if you want to give back to the community, it's kind of hard to do it just by yourself. It's not impossible, but it is hard. And to achieve your dreams, sometimes you have to get what a book called Think and Grow Rich is. He called it a mastermind group, which is where you get a group of people with common goals, common personalities, common ideas that can grow each other. And then you go from there and help. So you can help your community by, 1, doing community service. You can help your community by 2, joining an organization that helps communities. So not only you are trying to help a certain group, but other people are also trying to help you do that group. And honestly, if a lot of people do a little, you can have a lot of money. So let's say we need to collect $100 in here. Let's say there was 100 people in here, because there's not a lot of people here. But let's say there was 100 people in here, we need to collect $100. As long as everybody gave $1, we would have reached our goal. And so sometimes trying to do it all by yourself is not the best way to do it. Sometimes you do need people to help. So that's why I say join an organization or a group of people that is based off of trying to help people get back to your community. And then the third point that I would say, and it's important, you guys do not need to worry about it right now because I don't think y'all are of age, but vote. Voting is very important. Voting is a way that you be represented. And so even in like elementary school, middle school, we used to take votes on like, what did y'all want to do? And my parents taught me that it's very important to vote because that's your way of being represented. And so another way you can serve your community is by voting in the polls, or no matter what it is. Like, hey, do y'all want to go to Animal Kingdom, or do y'all want to go to Epcot? Let's raise our hands. To come to a close, and I hope this was as brief as I can because I actually am a talker. Come to a close, the very most important person and the very most important thing I can think of right now that God has put it on my heart to tell you guys is to please, please, please make yourself your #1 priority. Make your education a priority by actually growing yourself internally and growing yourself intellectually. The first thing I said is know that life is hard, however, it's not impossible. So that's a different type of mindset. Is like grow yourself mentally. So take care of yourself first, take care of the family members and your family, your parents that have been there for your life when you first got there. Take care of your true friends and let them know that you are there for them and that you love them and that you care for them, and then take care of your community. And if you might not be natural, but it's pretty much like a tree or like a light shining down. It glows first at the bulb and then the light reaches everywhere else. So take care of yourself first, be your best person, believe in yourself no matter what happens, do what you feel like you need to do and let your morals be the guide. But know that whatever dream you have, know that whatever you want to accomplish, no matter how far-fetched it may seem, if you have full faith in yourself, you can achieve it because you will naturally do what you need to do to get there. And I always tell people, let your morals be the guide. And the finish, pretty much, there's a quote that I live by. One of the quotes that I live by, and I heard somebody say it because I listen to a lot of motivational speeches, because taking care of your mental health is very, very important, because celebrities out there are, harming themselves and taking themselves out this earth. They have a lot of money, they have had good influence, however, somehow something's not good up there. So take care of your mental self, take care of yourself first, take care of your mental state. And there's a quote that I live by that says, a person doesn't believe in hope. I don't believe in hope. Hope is a beggar. Hope walks through the fire and faith leaps over it. And so in everything that I try to do and everything that I try to be, I try to show faith in it. But it means that when you hope for something, you feel all of the pain, you feel all of the needles, you feel all of the pricks, you feel all of the depression, you feel all of the sadness, you feel all of the emotions that come with it. Negative emotions that can tear you down that come with it. You're gonna feel pain, it's gonna hurt. But when you have faith about something, that means that, again, adversity will come in your life, but your dreams are not impossible. When you have faith and leap over the fire, that means that you won't feel any of that. That means that, things aren't looking good right now. When I was coming back to come to Disney to try to be an engineer, things wasn't looking good for me to come back to be an engineer. But somehow, God still worked it out. Somehow, I always did what I needed to do to get here, and I'm here right now. And so always have faith in whatever you do. Always have faith in yourself. Always take care of yourself first. Do what you feel like is right for you to do morally. Let your morals be the guide. And live your dream, live your best life, and make sure that you're happy, number one. Take care of yourself, and then from there, start serving everybody else.